watching you bleed. Right now, the people closest to you, they're cataloging every wound, every weakness, every soft place where the knife slides in easiest, and they're not doing it consciously. It's biological, hardwired into the predatory machinery of the human brain. Every time you cried in front of someone, their amygdala filed it away as effective attack vector. Every time you admitted what scared you, their nervous system catalogued it as reliable control mechanism. Every time you shared what you desperately wanted, their subconscious marked it as withhold for leverage. You think you're building intimacy. You're building a weapons arsenal that will eventually be used to destroy you. And the worst part? You did it willingly. You handed them the ammunition, showed them exactly where to aim, taught them precisely which wounds never heal. Not because you were stupid, because you were programmed. Programmed by a culture that calls vulnerability strength and emotional openness, courage and sharing pain, healing, all lies. Strategic lies designed to keep you exploitable, because exploitable people are controllable, and controllable people are profitable. Your vulnerability isn't making you stronger, it's making you prey, and prey gets consumed, always. This isn't opinion, this is neuroscience. When you reveal vulnerability, specific neural pathways activate in their brain. The mirror neuron system fires. They feel echoes of your pain, but simultaneously, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex activates. That's the region responsible for strategic planning and manipulation. And the amygdala logs it all as exploitable intelligence. When you show weakness, their brain doesn't just feel compassion, it also calculates. How can this be used? What leverage does this create? Where is the armor thin? This happens in milliseconds, below conscious awareness. They don't know they're doing it, but they are. Here's what Machiavelli understood that you're about to learn. True power isn't strength. It's absence of visible weakness. The prince who cannot be hurt isn't the strongest prince. He's the one with no exposed vulnerabilities to target, no visible fears to exploit, no admitted needs to withhold, no revealed wounds to strike again. You can't be destroyed where you can't be touched. You can't be controlled through leverage that doesn't exist. Invincibility isn't about being indestructible. It's about having nothing exposed that can be destroyed. It's being so completely sealed that attacks find nothing to strike. So strategically concealed that manipulation finds nothing to grip. I'm about to show you 5 psychological fortifications that create complete invulnerability. 5 walls so absolute that nothing and no one can hurt, control, or manipulate you ever again. But I need to warn you. Once you build these walls, you can't tear them down. Once you see how the predatory dynamics work, you can't unsee it. The old you dies in this video. The person who believed vulnerability was strength, who thought sharing pain created healing. That person doesn't survive what comes next. What emerges is something sealed, something untouchable, something that survives because it gives the predatory world nothing to consume. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on notifications, because this channel teaches you how to be invulnerable in a world designed to exploit you. Subscribe, then keep watching, because in the next 20 minutes, you either build the fortress or you keep bleeding. Let's begin. Wall 1. Emotional concealment. What they can't see, they can't weaponize. You show emotions, and every emotional display is reconnaissance data for future psychological warfare. Here's what nobody tells you. It's not authentic communication, it's intelligence you're broadcasting about your internal state, your triggers, your weaknesses, and your control mechanisms. Every emotion you've displayed has been catalogued, filed away in neural networks designed to identify exploitable patterns. Your anger taught them which buttons to push when they want you destabilized. Your sadness showed them which losses devastate you. Your joy revealed what you value. Your fear exposed what threats work to extract compliance. The CIA's interrogation manuals explicitly state that the fastest route to control is mapping emotional responses. Once you know what triggers anger, sadness, fear, you can induce those states at will, and once you can induce emotional states, you control the entire person. Watch how this works. Someone insults you. Your face flashes anger. Your body tenses. You just gave them complete intelligence about your anger triggers. Now they have a button. They can activate your anger response whenever they want to derail your thinking, make you act irrationally. When you get angry, your prefrontal cortex goes offline. Blood flow redirects to the amygdala. You literally become stupider when angry. They just learned how to make you stupid on command. Or something hurts you deeply. Your eyes fill, your voice breaks. You withdraw visibly. You just taught them the exact formula for causing you maximum pain. When they need to hurt you, they'll retrieve that file and they'll use it. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." What people see is what they can target. What remains hidden cannot be struck. The prince who displays anger is predictable. The prince who shows pain reveals weaknesses enemies will strike repeatedly. But the prince whose face is a mask, who shows the same expression for insults and compliments, that prince is impossible to read, impossible to predict, impossible to manipulate. That's the first wall. Complete emotional concealment through the Stoic mask. This doesn't mean not having emotions. Feel whatever you feel internally. Rage, grief, joy, terror. But externally, the face remains still. The voice stays level. The mask never cracks. When they insult you, your face doesn't move. They learn nothing. When they hurt you, no pain shows. When something makes you happy, you don't light up. You become impossible to map psychologically. Start practicing this immediately. In every interaction, notice your impulse to display emotion, then suppress it. Keep the face still, the voice level. No matter what you feel inside, the mask stays on. This will be uncomfortable. You've been trained your entire life to display emotions. That training is what made you exploitable. Untrain it, build the mask, make it permanent. Comment, "I conceal" if you're ready to build the mask that makes you psychologically invisible. Wall 2, pain privatization. Your wounds are their targeting system. You share your trauma, and every piece of suffering you reveal becomes the blueprint for your destruction. When you share pain, wounds, trauma, you think you're healing, getting support. You're not. You're giving potential enemies a detailed map of your psychological weak points. And humans use that map, not always consciously, often below awareness. Because the predatory survival system in every human brain remembers where others are vulnerable and targets those exact locations during conflict. Watch the pattern. You tell someone your father abandoned you. You share the pain. Months later, you're in conflict. What do they say? You're just like your father said, unlovable. No wonder he left. They went straight for the abandonment wound, the one you showed them. Or you share you were bullied for being stupid. Later, when they want to hurt you, they attack your intelligence, mock your ideas, make you feel stupid, because you told them that's where the wound is. This is documented in abuse psychology. Abusers probe for trauma during early relationship stages. You think they're being caring, they're gathering intelligence, building the vulnerability map they'll use later. When someone shares trauma with you, your mirror neurons activate. You feel their pain, but simultaneously, the hippocampus encodes it into memory. The amygdala tags it as emotionally significant. Later, during conflict, your brain retrieves that information. It's automatic. Your brain searches for what hurts this person effectively, finds the trauma they shared, and targets it. Machiavelli understood this. When you reveal wounds, you're showing enemies exactly how to crush you completely. The second wall is complete pain privatization. Whatever hurt you stays locked inside forever. You never share it. You never admit to it. You never reveal where the armor is thin. This doesn't mean you don't heal. It means you heal privately, in solitude, with professionals bound by confidentiality, but never with people who might later need to hurt you, because everyone might eventually need to hurt you. The person who loves you today might hate you tomorrow. When people ask about your past trauma, you deflect. I don't talk about that. That's private. Not rude, just closed. The gate stays shut, because every wound you reveal becomes a permanent target. Every pain you admit to becomes ammunition that never expires. Stop telling people where you're damaged. Start healing in darkness where they can't see the wounds to strike them. Drop "I privatize pain" if you're done giving enemies the map to your destruction. Wall 3. Desire encryption. What you want is the weapon they use against you. You admit what you want, and every desire revealed becomes a lever they use to extract compliance. When you tell someone what you want, what you're working toward, you're giving them the power to withhold it, to dangle it, to make you perform for the possibility of getting it. Every goal you've shared became something they could sabotage. Every ambition you revealed became leverage they use to extract whatever they want from you. You tell someone you want a promotion. Now every time they want to make you feel like a failure, they mention you're not getting promoted. Still no promotion, huh? Maybe you're just not management material. Every word strikes the desire you exposed, or you share you desperately want to find love. Now, attacks include, "No wonder you're alone." Mockery of your desire for connection. There's psychology research on goal sabotage. When you reveal goals, others often undermine them, often unconsciously, because your success might threaten them. But they can only sabotage goals they know about. And beyond sabotage, revealed desires become control levers. They can dangle, helping you achieve what you want in exchange for compliance. If you do what I want, I'll help you get promoted. Your desire gave them power. Machiavelli wrote, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." People use your desires against you. They promise to help to extract compliance, then break those promises when convenient. The third wall is complete desire encryption. Whatever you want, you keep it encrypted behind strategic indifference. You never reveal it. When people ask what you're working on, you're vague. When they probe for goals, you deflect. When they try to figure out what you want, you show nothing. You want the promotion? Never mention it. Work toward it in silence. When you get it, they find out with everyone else. No opportunity to sabotage. You want love? Never admit the desire. Pursue it privately. You want wealth? Build it in darkness. No declarations. No revealed ambitions. Because revealed desires become control levers. Encrypted desires can't be withheld or threatened. What they don't know you want, they can't use to control you. Stop telling people what you want. Start working in strategic silence. Comment, "I encrypt desires," if you're done letting them control you through revealed ambitions. Wall 4. Fear. Elimination. Fear is the hook they control you with. You show fear, and every fear revealed becomes their primary weapon. When people know what you're afraid of, they threaten it. When they know what you're terrified of losing, they threaten to take it. And you comply, every time, because fear makes you controllable. Your revealed fears are the hooks they sink into your psychology and pull whenever they want you to do something. You're afraid of abandonment. They threaten to leave every time they want compliance. You're afraid of failure. They predict your failure. You're afraid of humiliation. They threaten public exposure. Whatever you fear is what they threaten. The primary tool of abusers is identifying fears and threatening to actualize them. They probe for fears early. What's your biggest fear? They seem caring. They're gathering intelligence. Then they use it, constantly. Your boss knows you fear being fired. So every request comes with implicit job threats. Your partner knows you fear abandonment. So every disagreement includes threats of leaving. The fear you revealed is the control mechanism they use. But here's what changes everything. Fear only works if you're actually afraid of the outcome. If you accept the worst outcome, if you become genuinely okay with it happening, the threat becomes meaningless. The hook falls out. This is the Stoic core. Epictetus taught this as premeditatio malorum, negative visualization, the deliberate practice of imagining worst outcomes and accepting them. You visualize being abandoned, and you accept it. You imagine it. Make peace with it. Plan how you'd survive it, until you're genuinely okay if it happens. Once you accept abandonment, threats of abandonment become empty. They threaten to leave. You say, okay. The hook fell out. You visualize failure. Complete catastrophic failure. Accept it. Plan how you'd rebuild. Once you accept failure, threats of failure become meaningless. You visualize humiliation. Accept it. Make peace with being humiliated. Once you accept humiliation, threats of exposure become powerless. You visualize death, your own mortality. Contemplate it. Accept it. Once you accept death, no threat has power anymore. This is how you eliminate fear. By accepting worst outcomes until there's nothing left to fear. Marcus Aurelius: if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Change the estimation. Accept the outcomes. The fear disappears. But acceptance alone isn't enough. Never reveal fear externally. When people probe for your fears, you give nothing. What's your biggest fear? I don't have fears I share with people. Because revealed fears become control hooks. Concealed fears can't be threatened. This is the fourth wall. Complete fear elimination through acceptance, combined with complete fear concealment. The Stoics practiced this daily. Every morning they visualized losing everything, their own death, all worst outcomes. They accepted them until nothing scared them. Do the same. Spend time visualizing and accepting worst outcomes until nothing scares you. Drop I fear nothing if you're ready to eliminate the hooks they control you with. Wall 5. Need annihilation. What you need from them controls you completely. You need things from people, and every need is a chain they use to drag you wherever they want. Whatever you need from others, they can withhold to control you. Whatever you depend on, they can threaten to remove. Whatever you can't survive without, they can use to extract anything. Your needs are the ultimate vulnerability. Because needs create dependency, and dependency is the strongest form of control. You need their approval. They withhold it until you comply. You need their love. They threaten to withdraw it until you submit. You need their validation. They make you perform for it. Every need is a chain. Every dependency is a collar. And people exploit needs. Always. When someone needs you more than you need them, you have power over them. And humans use power. Your boss knows you need the job. So they extract more work for less pay. Your partner knows you need the relationship. So they extract more compliance for less effort. Whatever you need, whoever controls it, controls you. The principle is simple. The person who needs less has all the power. You need them more than they need you. You're powerless, completely. They can extract anything because you can't leave. Machiavelli's entire political philosophy is built on self-sufficiency as the foundation of power. The prince who needs nothing from his subjects is uncontrollable. The prince who needs their approval is their slave. The fifth wall is complete need annihilation. Becoming so utterly self-sufficient that you need absolutely nothing from anyone. This is the hardest wall because it requires actual internal transformation. You have to genuinely stop needing. You stop needing approval by building internal validation. You become the only source of approval that matters. You develop internal standards. You measure yourself against your own values, not others' opinions. You stop needing love by becoming complete alone. You build rich internal life. Hobbies, passions, projects that fulfill you without requiring another person. Being alone becomes preferable to being with the wrong person. You stop needing validation by developing identity that doesn't require external confirmation. You know who you are, independent of what others say. You are who you decide to be. External validation can't add to you. External criticism can't subtract from you. You stop needing resources by building self-sufficiency, multiple income streams, savings, skills, networks, options, so that no single source controls you. You diversify everything. No single point of failure. You stop needing belonging by becoming comfortable in solitude. You build internal world rich enough that you don't need external stimulation. Being excluded becomes irrelevant. This doesn't mean you don't enjoy things others provide. It means you don't need them. You could lose them and be fine. When you need nothing, nothing can be withheld to control you. When you depend on no one can threaten to withdraw support. When you're complete in yourself, others become optional. The Stoics called this autarkeia, self-sufficiency. Epictetus. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Everything others can give you is beyond your control. If you need what they control you. If you need nothing they control, you're free. This is the fifth wall, the one that completes the fortress. Without needs, the fortress becomes perfectly sealed. No leverage exists. No control mechanisms work. Stop needing anything from anyone. Build complete self-sufficiency. Comment, "I need nothing," if you're ready to annihilate the final vulnerability. The fortress complete. Total invincibility. These 5 walls work together in perfect integration. Emotional concealment creates unpredictability. They can't trigger responses they can't see. Pain. Privatization eliminates targeting data. They can't strike wounds they don't know exist. Desire encryption removes leverage. They can't withhold what they don't know you want. Fear elimination destroys threat-based control. They can't threaten what you're not afraid of. Need annihilation removes all dependency. They can't control through dependencies that don't exist. Together, these create a fortress with no visible gates. No weaknesses, no vulnerabilities, no leverage points, no control mechanisms. Attacks find nothing to strike. Your emotional mask doesn't crack. Your concealed pain can't be targeted. Your encrypted desires can't be leveraged. Your eliminated fears can't be threatened. Your annihilated needs can't be withheld. You become a hardened target. Someone so fortified that attacking costs more than any gain. This is complete psychological invincibility. Not through superior strength, through absence of targets. The old you was an open target, every vulnerability broadcast, every weakness revealed, easy to hurt, control, manipulate, destroy. The new you is a sealed fortress. No emotional reactions to read, no pain to strike, no desires to leverage, no fears to threaten, no needs to withhold, impossible to hurt, control, manipulate, or destroy. This is invincibility, through having nothing destructible exposed, the choice and the cost. You're at the decision point. One path leads back to vulnerability, to sharing emotions, revealing pain, admitting desires, showing fears, needing things. Back to being open, exploitable, controllable. That path is familiar, and on that path, you'll keep being hurt, controlled, manipulated. Path 2 leads forward to the fortress, to concealing emotions, privatizing pain, encrypting desires, eliminating fears, annihilating needs, to being sealed, fortified, invulnerable. That path is terrifying. It requires killing who you were, and you'll pay for it with connection, with intimacy. The fortress is cold. You'll lose people. The ones using your vulnerabilities will leave, and you'll be called cold, heartless, closed off. They'll say you've changed. They're right. You have. The person you were is dead. This is the choice. If you choose vulnerability, close this video. Go back to being open. Keep being hurt. But if you choose invincibility, subscribe right now. Turn on notifications. Smash that like button and comment one word, invincible. That's your declaration, your commitment, your choice of fortress over target. Then share this with someone ready to build walls. Your transformation doesn't happen when people stop attacking. They never will. Your transformation happens when attacks find nothing to strike. When you've concealed everything targetable. When you've encrypted everything leverageable. When you've eliminated everything threatenable. When you've annihilated everything controllable. Master this, and no one can control or hurt you ever again. Not because you're stronger, because there's nothing exposed to strike. No gates in the fortress, just walls. Sealed, complete, impenetrable. You're not a target anymore, you're a fortress. Welcome to invincibility. Hit like, subscribe, comment invincible. Share. The old you was exposed, exploitable, controllable. That person died watching this. What emerges is sealed, fortified, sovereign, invincible. Build the 5 walls, maintain them forever, and nothing will touch you again. The fortress stands alone, untouchable, unconquerable, eternal. That's what you are now. Choose it, build it, become it. Thank you for watching.